Chinese Judo Association, and from all our sponsors. Welcome to the final group of first stage Sports Lottery Hohhot Grand Prix 2019 People's Republic of China。仅代表世界柔道联合会、中国柔道协会及所有赞助商，欢迎各位来到体彩杯2015年世界柔道大奖赛霍格沃特站第一个比赛日决赛的现场。
We're about to get underway with the final block and all the medal matches, the first of which is a bronze medal match in the under 48 kilo category featuring Katarina Mentz of Germany. She'll be up against Sabina Giliazova of Russia. It'll be Mentz in the white judo and Giliazova in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Zhang Wangye of China. And with commentary on this and all of the South Command's medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Kusakdor. Good afternoon, Loretta.
Good afternoon, Shelton. And yes, it has been a very interesting day of judo, and this is going to be an exception that's going to quite a close match, I would anticipate, based on performances throughout the day. Very, very close in statistics, as you've seen just there on our screen, and not very far from each other on the world ranking. But both have picked up impressive medals throughout the year and last year in the World Tour. And the latest medals are from Düsseldorf for men's. She took 5th place, and Giliazova was her best result was The Hague, where she also had a 5th place there, but picked up a medal at Ekaterinburg back in 2017. So both very familiar being on the podiums at such stages throughout their career, and both will be battling away for those very important Olympic qualification medals.
First attack in there by Katarina Mentz, just showed a little bit with the Uchimata, and then on the way down almost got countered.
Just caught a cold right at the beginning there.
A little burst of action right from the get-go to get things underway. The Germans haven't had someone at 48 kilos for a while, not to be medaling on a regular basis. We're talking about the Russians. Well, they've got a couple actually.
Yes.
One of them, Irina Dolgova, is the one to look at. Giliazova, maybe someone to look for in the future, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Well, both these countries have produced some fine athletes throughout, very strong athletes, and although they're 48 kilos and very petite in structure, they definitely are very aggressive young ladies when they're out there on the tatami.
Had to walk back to the hotel during the break with Giliazova and just chatted with her briefly. There's more of a slip there and an accident from Giliazova. Yes. She did the same thing in the quarter-final.
Well, a very positive reaction from Mentz there. She had a very serious face there. Came out to win, and win she did.
For me, it's just about the degree of control here from Mentz, you know. Yep, and that's what they've had a look at. Stop to have a quick look.
That was the only thing that they would be questionable about. Did she really have full control?
And we're going to see that in the replay. It all happened very, very quickly, but
she came right round and sidestepped it. Sakeshi was there, and it was well controlled. That arm was very deep in the back. She went for it. It was her execution. Reaction from the Russian, and she stepped across, controlling very nicely, catching on that shoulder. leadership, then a step through, but all the time, executed at the beginning, finished it at the end.
Those of you watching at home, there's a perfect illustration of what Loretta was talking about. Just look at what happens with that shoulder. Just where it all gets controlled, doesn't it?
Put that hand on the shoulder and actually tipped it, so it actually hit the ground and not the front. So it was well executed there. And looking at her reaction at the end, she looked like she really had gone out and planned that.
Well, maybe she'd seen what happened in the previous contest, Gilyazova's previous contest, where Gilyazova got caught that way with that Uchimata.
Yes.
It was sort of, as Loretta was saying, waiting for her. All right, well, we've got a second bronze medal contest coming up now. Shira Rishoni of Israel faces Li Yanan of China. It's Rishoni in the white judogi, Li in blue, the referee in the middle for this one is Mr. Dos Santos of Brazil.
Well, as you can see there in the statistics, there's a lot of wins under the belt of Rishoni. She has had a lot of experience and exposure at this world level and has picked up some impressive medals. She won a gold medal in Tel Aviv at the beginning of the year, and that really started this year for her. 28 years of age, has a lot of experience under that belt. But Li today has been very impressive. World ranked 20, so she's not going to be any pushover, and placed in quite impressive tournaments such as Dusseldorf, where she was 7th, The Hague 5th, and Abu Dhabi she picked up the bronze medal. So again, someone who's also knocking at the door to get on that podium here today.
I think the key word there, Loretta, is experience, and I just have the feeling that Rishoni, who's been around for that little bit longer and on the circuit as a real regular on the podium, may just have the edge on her, despite the fact that she's at home.
She's had a lot of battles throughout the day, and she's just dug in very deep to find herself here in this bronze medal contest. She doesn't give up lightly. She's a real pocket rocket, as I always call her. Very, very strong, aggressive approach to every match that she comes into.
The thing that may tell for Li Yanan is she might be a little bit nervous, fighting at home.
Yes. The pressure's there, isn't it? Well, there was a Siotoshi there from Rishoni. We know that she's actually quite good in her transition as well into the Niwaza. The Israeli team are very, very strong, and Niwaza has been very, very good here over the whole day. It's been quite impressive from all the athletes. Very, very tight head-to-head there, as you can see, drawing each other in, but as you can see, Rishoni just keeping that shoulder and that armour length so that she doesn't get herself pulled in and then swings through for that what looked to be the Sienagi. Again, a little bit apprehensive, both engaging, takes their grip. Now Li being the first one to attempt to change that grip and throw that arm over the top, looking for a reaction from her opponent. But for her actions, picks up the first Shido, which puts on a little bit of pressure for Li. But it doesn't seem to phase her. She's very, very focused there, but a takedown there, and Rishoni on the pounce there into the Niwaza. Digs in deep, as you can see, that arm trying to hook around the back of her opponent's arm for the Sangaku. Opts to go around the waist at this moment, but as you can see, still digging in deep there, looking, not giving really up for that Sangaku. Li defended very well at the edge of the contest area. Very gutsy move there. Looked for the Sienagi, but she was actually doing that koso to overstretched herself, and that could have gone horribly wrong if she'd a little bit of a anticipation from Li.
There's still a minute and a half left on the clock, so there's plenty of time left for Li to come back into this.
But this
and
is
they gave Wazari for that. For me, that was generous.
Yeah, and there's a Wazari for Li as well, which again I think is quite generous. So both even at this particular moment.
It could be that just with the arm being on the inside as Rishoni went to the ground.
A very, very soft look, though.
Yeah. A minute left to go. Well, it didn't take her long to get back into it, did it?
No, and I was just about, before she did get back into a level playing field, I thought that Rishoni has that experience, that she would know how to keep her opponent at bay and keep the walls from the door as far as picking up the Shidos. She would have that experience to tactically play this match to the end, but she didn't get that opportunity. It's two Wazaris, one apiece, and we're into the last minute of this contest. And the battle continues. Rishoni left herself a little bit vulnerable there with the Oso Tagari as she changed her gripping style. Circling motion there from Rishoni, trying to come in off the side rather than the direct approach into her opponent. This time she dives in, desperately trying to get that sleeve. She's got the cross, then changes the grip now to suit her. So both hands on the lapels. Tries to come in the inside, but as you can see, Lee blocking quite nicely. But as I say, it's a block, and she comes over, catches the head, engages, but the Ouchigari's there, and Rishoni attacks well. Lee just manages to escape, reacts well.
Yeah, to her credit, she was going for it right at the last couple of seconds, not worried about thinking, well, I'll just hang on and take it into golden score. No, looking to finish things as quickly as possible.
Now, in fairness for Rishoni, I thought that Ouchigari was most probably one of the better attacks, and there's two Wazaris on the board, and I thought that was a much stronger approach.
Only managed to take the arm there with that Makikomi attempt. It's not really the lightweight throw. Tend to see that more with the heavyweights.
Yes. Well, Rishoni was trying the little wrap turnover that we've seen quite a few times throughout the day. It's quite an impressive but very, very strong and effective turnover that has caused one or two people to fall victim of. Oh, there's the Sianagi, and she perseveres with it, and I think she's got it there, and yes, the hands come up with delight, scoring the Wazari Iseti upon in 51 seconds of golden score. So Rishoni from Israel takes the bronze medal for the under 48 kilo category.
Yeah, we said at the beginning of the contest that, you know, there were different reasons to look at Rishoni as the possible winner.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit nerves on Lee Yanan's part, you know, a big ask, and fighting it against someone who is really experienced on the world tour as well. And she just had that edge, didn't she? She gave up the one score, did Rishoni, but she managed to come up with two of her own, and that was enough to take the contest.
Well, Rishoni, she's very, very confident. If not anything else, she really comes out with full belief, and that is very intimidating. And there you can direct approach for that. Sianagi drives off to the end, getting the Wazari to finish the contest.
Really neatly executed there. You're right about it. That could have gone horribly wrong because if you get the balance and you haven't really taken your opponent in the right direction.
She's very gutsy with it.
Yeah.
Well, there was an
good job there.
There was an attempt of that earlier on,
but
it wasn't as well executed, and it was very, very dangerous.
Yeah, that was the finish.
Lee just didn't react, didn't see it coming, so obviously she was okay on that last, the other attempt.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a practice
Yeah.
earlier, and it was on the edge. There, she got it right. Right, we come now to the final of the under 48 kilo category. John Yusun of the People's Republic of Korea faces Xiong Yao of China. It's John in the white judogi, Xiong in blue. Going to have to be careful there. The referee in the middle for this one is Jean-Claude Jimbi of Gabon.
Well, as you can see, they're both in the final, and it's going to be a very, very interesting match between these two athletes. Miles apart on the world ranking, which doesn't really go for much, to be honest, but Xiong, second in The Hague, and Asian Games 5th place. So someone has got a little bit of a pedigree out there that we can have to keep an eye out. 29th on the world ranking. Very, very strong athlete from China. And for the spectators here, this will be the one that will hoping to take that medal, that gold medal.
Yeah, Xiong, I think, is going to prove to be slightly more physically stronger than John. She'll be more used to the circuit as well, having already medalled on the circuit.
Yes.
There are, I think everybody understands that we don't often get to see the athletes from the DPRK.
Yes, that's true. And going through trying to get some information from this about this young lady was very, very difficult indeed.
Yeah, just hasn't been out on the circuit. I often feel when I see them reach this kind of stage, you know, quarter-final, semi-final, or in the final, what would it be like if they were out more regularly? But it also has the other side, well, we'd know them a little bit better.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, there could be the reverse reaction to that as they're on the circuit so many times. You're able to adapt and work against it. But when the unknown is always sometimes very scary.
Especially when the unknown comes from a country that's got a real history of producing, you know, successful
Olympic
players.
champions.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. The last of which was Anne Comey in the under 52 kilo category. It's around those sort of weights, 48, 52, 57.
52, 48, 50, yeah, the lightweights.
Yeah, if you go back to the 57 kilo category as well, Kei Sun-hee, not just once but twice.
Yep.
Well, once Olympic champion and 3 times world champion. So it wasn't as though it was a fluke, was it?
Very, very strong contender.
At 48, 52, 57 and 63, she just went through the weight categories.
She was unstoppable,
yeah,
wasn't she?
winning
really
big
was.
medals at major championships. Anyway, John has got quite a mountain to climb if she's going to fill those boots.
Well, she's doing quite nicely at the moment. She's been very cautious out here in this gold medal contest, but to find herself here in the final.
Yeah, it's important to weather that initial storm and then see just how much energy you've got left in the tank, you know, because if she can just get past the first, you know, 2-3 minutes and still be in there and avoid penalties. The problem for the fighters from the People's Republic of Korea is that they're often just a little bit behind on the rules. And they fall foul of the Shidos.
And when you actually think about it, she wasn't seeded in this competition, John, and she drew with in her second match, Kung, who's the number 1 seed.
She's going to get a second Shido here because she's just touched the leg.
Yep.
And she's wondering why.
Why? Yeah,
because there has been a rule
danger.
change.
Yeah.
The rule change is nearly 2 years old, but that's the problem that they're up against. It takes time for things to filter down, and if you're on the circuit every week, then that's going to filter down into your national judo very quickly. If you only turn up once every 6-7 months, it takes a
If
long
that.
time for it to get to get down to the next level. And she blocked with the hand when Xiong of China was still standing up. And that rule, we had that change where we allowed one person to be on their knees and the other to stand up, and it was still classed as tachiwaza. So that's the rule that she fell foul of. Unfortunate for her. Picked up a second penalty. Half a minute left to go.
And psychologically, this will be sort of playing on her mind if she does not understand the ruling. Oh, but there you've got it. There's a score.
That's it.
Wazari, and there you've got great timing. 22 seconds remaining, but she still has 2 shidos, so she cannot afford. Beautifully overstretched there. Really committed herself.
Here is the reason why I think she won't pick up a second shido, a third shido. She's still got plenty of energy left, and it's when you're physically burned that you end up doing silly things. She's just got to keep her head up here. One attack from Xiong, and here's a chance now. This is the one that you're looking for. You want to keep this on the ground.
And she knows that.
You knew Xiong was going to be attacking you. You had to block that and make sure that you stayed on top. And I might be shedding a few tears if I was her as well. That's a terrific win.
That was a brilliant win for her.
What a day, because to come in here completely unseeded, basically unknown. But by most people, and take the gold medal. Admittedly, we're not talking about the highest ranking players being here. This is a Grand Prix where the points won at this Grand Prix count 100% towards Olympic qualification. That is a mega big win.
That's a mega big win.
And her coach Rim there herself, a medal winner, is waiting to celebrate with her. Terrific win for John Yu-sun. Just came at the right time, like with half a minute left on the clock. Koso Tagaki, nice hook in, good push back, arm round the waist as well to really, force the weight backwards.
Oh, she really did commit herself on that. Definitely went for it. This is definitely an athlete that really couldn't play tactically because she wasn't fully aware of the rule changes. You can see that, and that really put a lot of pressure on her from the beginning.
And as I say, that last 25 seconds, 2 shidos against the player, most times I think, well, the odds are against you. You're going to get a third.
Yes.
But she had plenty of energy in the tank. So she didn't have to run. She didn't have to take a drop or anything. As long as she stayed strong, and you'd seen that in the gripping, there'd been the pair of them had some problems.
Power there as she drew her opponent back from that Sianagi attempt there, and then dug in deep into the Niwaza to just eat up the extra time that was left.
Yeah, that was when she could play tactical.
Yes,
because there hasn't been a rule change there. Right, so we come now to the second of the weight categories. It's the under 60 kilo category. Kim Yong-kwon of the People's Republic of Korea faces Chae In-hyuk of the Republic of Korea. They go head-to-head here in this under 60 kilo category bronze medal contest. The referee in the middle for this one is Friedrich Anna Maria of Hungary. Loretta, it's all yours.
Again, we have another young man from the People's Republic of Korea. Very, very strong team. We've got a few more coming up in line, but this is going to be again another interesting match. Both these athletes have had a superb performance throughout the day, and interesting how they compete against each other here. Statistically, very little in it, 60 to 70 on the world ranking. That's not much at all, but it's how they perform against each other that really does matter.
Chae In-hyuk from the Republic of Korea, I think, has just got a little bit too much.
He was 7th in the World Championship, so he's got something about him that gives him that world-class status, I feel. But Choi, he got 5th in Tokyo Grand Slam back in 2017, and also the Junior World Championships in 2015 was a bronze medalist. So this is a youngster He's 25 now. He's still 4 years older than his opponent, Kim, but he's had some impressive results throughout the stages of his career. So it can't really be written off at all.
I had a look at Kim earlier on, and he's got the makings of a good 60 kilo player, but he just hasn't got the. There are other things that you're going to need there, and he can only get them from experience.
That exposure.
And you know, he's just a little bit off the pace sometimes. Again, you know, picking up a second Shido with 3 minutes left to go. You know, this isn't going to go the distance.
Well, he's looking a little bit apprehensive there, isn't he? He's struggling with the grips. And Choi comes in, deep in that Sodi, draws right under his opponent, just really didn't get the finishing touch to it, but nevertheless a good entry and showed quite a lot of power. Kim slightly frustrated there, but attempts the Seoinage, gets past the defences.
That the way that Kim moves as well suggests that he's been on the tatami a great deal. He's very, very comfortable. Yes. You know, he doesn't look amateurish in any of his movements.
Aggressive approach,
yeah, exactly.
He?
Yeah,
and he moves well.
Yeah,
and he has a good awareness and feel for judo.
Yeah,
and that only comes for being on the tatami a lot of times. But it's that finishing, isn't it? It's the fine finish that you need, the flair that you were talking about earlier on, which comes with exposure of this level of competition and not a randori.
Yeah. Just lost contact with the hands there.
He really hasn't. He's been playing second best with the grips as well. That he's not really secured his favourite grip to be able to execute the techniques that he's trying to attempt right now at this particular moment. That's Seoinage a little bit too far. He's very erratic. He's really, it's a little like he's working on nervous energy at this particular moment. Nothing's very structured in this match at this particular moment. Choi from Korea, he's just waiting. He's playing a bit of a waiting game here. That experience most probably is giving him the advantage that he can hold on, especially when he knows his opponent's got two Shidos, that he can make his opponent look a little bit untidy. And coming in for a couple of Seoinages, if it's a false attack, that picks up another Shido. So Choi, although he's not doing very much, tactically he's fully aware of what he's trying to do here in this contest. I think he's more stealing this match than anything else. He blocks again, but tries to follow through and look busy as he transitions into the Niwaza. And I think the referee's going to have a serious look at the next engaged attack between the both of them and see who really is doing the work, because I think Choi is now building up to a second Shido here. His head goes down, he's just breaking the grips, he's disengaging, he's trying to keep that distance and really frustrate his opponent, who's desperately trying to get back into this contest. He knows his two Shidos, he knows he has to keep the fight up.
Nice score.
But there, Kouchigari.
Maybe not enough to get a score. Just sat on his backside.
Yes,
I mean, my first look at it was
it
yes,
a score?
yeah.
Yes, so did I. But looking at grabbing the leg.
Oh, that would be an error.
Let's see what happened.
Oh, well, it's just a touch with the elbow. And he doesn't block, does he? He really need. For me, he would have needed to have made a lot more contact.
Yes.
I mean, it almost
would have
looked
been really unfair to get that, wouldn't it?
It almost looked accidental. Yeah. His intention, I think, was to
do it.
Right, so he got the score, okay, and it looked like a score. but it's on the board, and I think the referee may have stopped it looking at one thing. She actually indicated about the leg grab.
Yes.
And they said, oh no, not only was there no leg grab, but there
There
was
was
a
a score
Wasari
as
there
well.
as well. And my first thought was, yeah,
Yeah.
it did look like one.
Well, you were very sharp in seeing that leg grab. I didn't see that at all. Well, that was a very good win and a very tactical match throughout to the end. The frustration was built up with Kim. He left himself very vulnerable and exposed with 2 Shidos on the board. And really, it was an all-or-nothing situation, a desperate move that left him desperately exposed.
A 5th place finish for Kim Young-Gwan of the People's Republic of Korea. He was close, you know, he got in there. He gave it a good effort.
These are the highlights, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Kim, 21 years of age, still quite young. Needs definitely a lot of exposure on the world circuit to be a real contender out here. That Sianagi there was an attempt and a ploy to reverse the direction. Well, hard day's work there for him, but he picks up a medal. And he'll be happy with that. And what more important, those very important Olympic qualification points.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 60 kilo category. Cedric Revol of France faces Albert Ogazov of Russia. It'll be Revol in the white judogi, Ogazov in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Orlando Cruz of the Dominican Republic.
Well, Ogazov, he knows he's in the driving seat here. He's defeated his opponent twice before, and that's obviously got to give him a little bit more confidence as he enters into this competition. But Revol has had a great performance throughout the day, has been a real contender and a well-deserving place in this bronze medal match. A bronze medal in Tel Aviv this year, Minsk European Open, picked up a medal there, and last year also a bronze medal in the Paris Grand Slam. So this is a young man that is quite capable of taking medals at the very top of his game. Ogazov, Yekaterinburg, 27 years of age, 3 years senior to his opponent. He came into this competition as the #1 seed, and sadly was defeated by Kim to get into the final. So just fell at the last hurdle. Sianagi attempt though. Revol working now in the Niwaza. Nice. A little bit of a style that we've seen throughout the day that really gave him that #1 seeding place. As well as some impressive results, a 7th in the Masters. Koichiga following right through over the top and hunting there for the Niwaza. Ogazov now with the Wazaria against his butt. Frenchman comes back, he comes back strong. Gave him a little bit of his own medicine there on that one. Sadly didn't get the results. So still battles away, just try and stay in this competition and a place for this bronze medal. Revol advancing onto his opponent each time. Oguzov coming over around the back there, comes in very deep. He loves that closeness as he catches hold of that belt, engaging very deeply with the grips.
Yeah, for me, it's a real risk that Revol is taking when he gets in that close and he decides to, you know, wrap arms around his opponent.
The Russians are very, very clever there as well. They've got the big uranagis, they've got really big techniques. And Sianagi nice and deep, continues, drives off there with Ariasetiapon, and Oguzov takes the bronze medal.
Too many weapons for him to deal with, too many looks he gave him, and eventually he was going to catch him with one of them.
And a 3 out of 3 of the head-to-heads.
Yeah, it's a fighter that he doesn't want to see again, isn't it, Revol?
Revol, for me, he's had a really good performance throughout the day. He shouldn't be disappointed in a 5th place, and he does get pick-up points for that. But he was up against a tougher opponent.
That is very true. I tend to forget that. 5th place is nothing to be, you know, sneezed at. Mind you, Oguzov would have fancied his chances of getting, you know, one spot further, making it to the final.
Definitely. When you're placed in the #1 seed, and when you look at the weight category and the entries, it was a good competition for him to be on that podium in that top position, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And fell short of getting onto the #1 spot, I feel.
He did what
opportunity.
In the end, he did what he had to do, which was to bounce back from the loss and to come back and take a medal. At least he will walk away with a bronze medal and the points that go with it.
Some great highlights there.
We come now to the final of the under 60 kilo category. Kim Won-jin of the Republic of Korea faces Yang Yong-wei of Chinese Taipei. It'll be Kim in the white judogi, Yang in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Vladimir Nutsubidze of Georgia. Loretta.
Well, Kim, for me, has been very impressive. One of my favourite athletes of the day. He's been so exciting, it's unbelievable. And he defeated Oguzov in that semi-final and robbed him of his place on the #1 spot, I think. But for me, Kim has been absolutely outstanding.
He's had the tougher day of it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt about it. But what an impressive lineup already under his belt. In Osaka, he was a bronze medalist. He got 7th in the Olympic Games back in 2016, Masters bronze medalist, and the World Championships in 2015 and 13 bronze medalist. So, but what is more important, he is such a big thrower. It's scary.
I think you mentioned earlier on that there's a degree of calm that you see on him. It just smacks of class.
Yeah.
Just no stress. Yang Yong-wei, however, has performed really well.
He's 21 years of age, yes, and he's a youngster that's coming through in the Asian Games. last year was a bronze medalist, and to win a medal in the Asian Games is some feat, isn't it? When they're up against some phenomenal athletes in Asia. So that is on its own a very impressive result. He's higher up on the world ranking, 25, but wins under his belt. Well, Kim has got that one covered. But Yang working in the Niwaza there. Kim decides just to defend quite nicely there. Doesn't seem to be phased too much. But he really hasn't been pushed, I don't think, to his max throughout the day.
Someone's picked up a cut somewhere. Not sure if it's Yang Yung-wei on the right cheek. Almost.
That was the oh yes! And Ouchigari, well, do you know what? If he had planted that squarer, it would have been Ippon.
Yeah.
Definitely. He went down like a brick. He came for the lift there. We've seen it so many times throughout the day. He came for the Uchimata, but nicely when he got that reaction from the counter, switched it in and did that combination of the Uchimata Ouchigari. But he just didn't square it up deep enough and get the drive off the supporting leg.
A lesser player would have been absolutely flattened by that.
With it, yeah,
Kim
definitely.
showing all the experience there and being able to turn off on the way down. He was on the way down from that Ouchigari and managed to turn onto his front.
He reacted well there. Battle of the Kimikata, they're both trying to get the more controlling grip, and there you have Kim with that high collar grip, the left hand in deep, and from there he works from a forward attack and can switch it to the rear for the Kosota. I've seen it throughout the day, very, very effective. But I think his fellows would have been ruffled a little bit on that last exchange. That was a scare. Oh, Uchimata, and he just had him up in the air and decided, I'm just going to position him so he lands flat. We'd seen him do that earlier on where he'd overthrown his opponent and didn't got the wazari instead of the ippon. But this time he made sure that when he lifted, he was planting flat on the back. It was a really nice correction midway through that throw. I'll get to have a real look at that one. And a little smile at the end. And again, he doesn't seem phased at all. He got a little bit ruffled halfway through that contest. Got a bit of a wake-up call that he was up against a contender. High collar, look at the elbow dug in deep. But the elbow dug in deep, the hip came in, the leg went up, and he just planted. Both knuckles went to the ground. Brilliant. And that's a really successful attempt there on Uchimata. Again, he could have almost spun him out of that, but it was the hand, the grips, they were so important and played a major part in that perfected Uchimata.
Kim Won-jin of the Republic of Korea launching Yang Yung-wei there.
It just gets better each time we see it.
Right, I think they've got the athletes lined up for the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 48 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the head sport director of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Vladimir Barta. The first of the bronze medals goes to Shira Rishoni of Israel. There's a bronze medal also for Katharina Mentz of Germany. Silver medal goes to Xiong Yao of China. The gold medal goes to John Yu-sun of the People's Republic of Korea. Prize money is going to be presented by the double Olympic champion and the current president of the Chinese Judo Association, Xiang Dongmei.
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of People's
And now the national anthem of the People's Republic of Korea.
Thank you very much.
Oh, she just about pulled it back together at the end there, but
She kept
completely taken over with the emotion there. It's understandable. You know, you're going to get a shot once in a while to come out, and you have to take your chance. She did.
She did.
You know, that must mean so much for her.
Thank you very much, Hohhot.
John Yu-sun, the gold medalist. Rishoni and Mentz were the silver medalists. Xiongyan of China picked up the silver. Right, everything back under control now? Right. Oh dear.
You looked very emotional yourself there.
Yeah, I suppose it's an understanding of just how much it means, you know, it kind of transmits itself, doesn't it, you know? And never having been there myself, there's a massive degree of jealousy. Right, coming up next, the first of the bronze medal contest in the under 52 kilo category. Katarina Guika of Canada faces Gilly Cohen of Israel. It'll be Guika in the white judogi, Cohen in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Gostini Balas of Hungary.
The referee from Hungary.
Well, this is a weight category that was very interesting indeed, and some very strong competitive matches throughout the day, and some really good lineup of matches coming up here. This being one of them.
In white, representing Canada.
Guika, 27 on the world ranking, 25 years of age, Pan American Championship, 7th place. In Budapest last year was a bronze medal, but also was silver medalist in 2017 here in Hohhot. So very familiar being on that podium, and she'll be wanting, but she then goes on a flying lesson with Cohen. The first exchange, picks up a Wazari, and what a little pocket rocket she is.
Nice left-sided score there.
Yeah, caught her cold there. Well, we know with Cohen, she's a very consistent athlete. 3 Grand Prix medals in 2019.
She's hurt her knee there. That doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, she was looking to take Guika back.
And looked like she had a bit of a twist on that knee, didn't she? And not sure whether it's a recurring injury or it's just a fresh one. But this is the problem. We're coming through halfway through this year. We're building up to the Olympic qualification, full points now. Everything's so important. More importantly, the athletes staying fit and healthy throughout this process. But let's have a look and see how we can identify what happened there. Oh no, when she came round the back, she just clipped the side of the knee and pulled the weight down onto the back. So knowing Cohen, it's not about the medal, it's about how the injury is, and that was really what will be playing on her mind and the coach's mind as well.
Yeah, the entry into the technique was slightly off balance.
She left all her weight on a supporting leg.
And then when she was going to get taken back, everything went on that. And that you saw it just go.
Yeah.
Right, there's a second bronze medal contest coming up now. Andrea Kitsu of Romania faces Gafen Primo of Israel. It'll be Kitsu in the white judogi, Primo in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Jefferson da Roca Vieira of Brazil.
Well, Primo there, world ranking. She's quite a youngster that's coming through and coming through very impressively for the Israel team. For me, this is somebody that has been growing stronger and stronger in confidence. Baku this year, a bronze medalist, and Marrakesh a bronze, Tel Aviv the 5th place, Masters 7th, and the World Championships Seniors a 7th place. And not forgetting that she's only 19 years of age, has also got a junior European and world medal under her belt. What more did this young lady got to give us? Well, she's very, very impressive indeed, and she's a big throw. She's quite a talent.
Yeah, she hasn't quite got her own defences sorted out as yet.
No, she's very, very open, and up against the 31-year-old Romanian who's got a lot of experience under her belt. Andrea Antalio's gold medalist and 7th place in Dusseldorf, in Tel Aviv a bronze medal, and at the Olympic Games also 7th place. This is somebody, she's won world medals. She goes back a long, long career, as you would expect at 31 years of age. So, and as you can see here, that maturity seems to be really the controlling factor, and the positivity that's coming through in the way she's approached this contest. An attempt of an Uchimata Koshiguruma. Back onto her feet and then decided to drive down Skorna Wazari, and now takes the lead. The Romanian now in a good position, but she's not given up there. She's working on that arm lock as well, as she really tries to punish Primo there in the Niwaza. The high collar grip, but just looked for the Uchimata, totally mistimed the action there, but rescued it with the upper body control that she had.
Again, there's plenty of time on the clock, a little under 3 minutes.
Definitely, there's plenty of time, especially when you're a big thrower. And this young lady can throw. She's got lovely judo, there's no doubt about it. So you'll never write her off until the end. The one thing with the Romanian, she's very, very strong. Tactically, very astute. Comes back with a real big counter. Almost a score which would have been it all over and done with. Just needed a little bit more leverage under the hips. Israeli coach there trying to give as much encouragement to his athlete as he possibly can in the time given.
She's fearless, isn't she, Gafen? Because, you know, she's
young.
She almost got caught, and then she goes straight back again for the same thing. She's thinking, well,
gimme.
know,
yeah, it's definitely.
I didn't catch you that time, but I'm going to catch you this time. Rather than thinking, well, you nearly caught me this time, I'm not going to try it again. And there you go.
And there you've got it, Ippon. Hey, goodness me, well we said. She's a big thrower.
Fearless.
She's a big thrower, and that was a big throw. Goodness me, well when she smiles the whole place lights up with her as well. Such a lovely, lovely young lady. A great ambassador for women's judo, there's no doubt about it. Well, she had her coach on the edge of his chair, there was no doubt about it. There were some real hairy moments there for her, very, very scary indeed, but full faith in herself, she kept going.
It's just that belief that, you know, she can throw anyone at any time.
No fear, no fear.
I mean, she's almost going over there with the Sode.
And then just pulls her back.
Yeah.
She's got the height and obviously the power. But what she did have was that sleeve grip as well.
Yeah.
Although she was going over for the Sode, she'd lost the grip. For the Sode, she came over so high, left herself exposed when she lost the grip. Lost the control, lost the balance, and then that was just capitalized by Primo.
But look at the way that Kitsu decides that the Sode isn't working, and she's going to
come out,
and she tries to come out of it in the worst possible way.
Totally misjudged that completely.
Once you know this is failing, fall forward, go to ground, don't try and come out.
Yeah. She tried to switch it possibly for the Ouchigari, but she was so far gone forward that it was a long way back to try and rescue it. And she can't believe she's going, what?
Did you see that?
Was that it, Paul?
That was a thumping at the end, wasn't it?
Oh, goodness.
She's backed a few over today.
Oh, definitely. She's been a very impressive young lady. 19 years of age, and there's still more to come with that young lady.
We come now to the final of the under 52 kilo category. Abe Uta of Japan faces Evelyn Schopp of Switzerland. It's Abe in the white judogi, Schopp in blue, the referee in the middle. But this one is Frank Birch of Germany.
Abe Uta, for me, has been untouchable. Very, very strong performance. The big question mark that we had right at the beginning of the day is that how would she be performed, because she'd been plagued with a few injuries. The last time we saw her was in November of last year in Osaka, and this is her first competition back since then. Double world champion, very, very strong, very competent young lady, but what a technician she is. And first match out, she looked a little bit rusty for the first minute, and then after that, well, there's been no stopping this young lady, Abe Uta. Schopp seeded 8th in the world, again as one of these understated, I think, athletes that is always there and abouts and can never be written off at all. She's a very strong-minded, strong opponent, technically very, very good, and her transition in Niwaza is good, is very, very strong and very effective as well. But it's going to be a very tall order, I think, against a phenomenal athlete, one of the star athletes, I feel, of the day.
We normally talk about Abe in terms of how well prepared she appears to be. Well, on this occasion, the preparation wouldn't have been
No.
the same because there were no other competitions for her to take part in
So
at a
match-
time when she just finished her injury.
Mm.
So this was the first. This is the first one out, and yeah, she's in the final.
Yes. Well, I would imagine, obviously, she will have had some competitions within our home, within Japan, with the team events and university events and things like this. I wouldn't imagine that she would have come out cold here for the first major event since Osaka, and treat this as the warm-up as such. But she did look a little bit, as I say, rusty.
Oof.
But that Uchimata off the double sleeve is an amazing technique, and it's been something that's worked for her throughout the day.
She's still not 100%.
No, she's got a little bit of a limp
Yeah.
there. Not quite sure what happened there, but no, not quite sure the extent of that. If it's something that's niggly again, or did
She's smiling
no,
half,
no, I think it was most
half smiling. Yeah, a little bit of a strain somewhere. Okay.
beautifully done. What a finish. Uchimata there. And, oh, goodness me. I don't think she's actually gone, she hasn't gone to time in any of her matches. I don't think she's even gone halfway in her matches, to be honest.
So it's not until she goes to walk away that she realises that she strained something.
I think
Could be right at the end. Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 60 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the Education and Coaching Director of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Mohamed Marija. The first of the bronze medals goes to Albert Ogazov of Russia. There's a bronze medal also for Chae In-hyuk of the Republic of Korea. The silver medal goes to Yang Yong-wei of Chinese Taipei. And the gold medal goes to Kim Won-jin of the Republic of Korea.
some of those highlights, and there have been real highlights throughout this final block, some big throws.
Yeah, I think Abe and Primo will be on there shortly.
And Kim.
Yeah. Now the national anthem of the Republic of Korea. Ogazov and Choi with the bronze medal winners. Yang was the silver medal and winner, and Kim it was, who can afford to have that big smile on his face. He was the gold medal winner, and an arm round his teammate as well, almost as if to say, well, I'm afraid I'm back.
It was definitely very impressive today. A real class act.
Oh, he's gone off the back of the podium there. Right, we've come now to the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category. Tsai Ming-yen of Chinese Taipei faces Daniel Jean of France. It's Tsai in the white judogi, Jean in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Turbat Ensetseg of Mongolia. Loretto.
Thank you, Sheldon. Well, again, these are very say, for me, he's 100, we've got him down as 135 in the world ranking. He's 23 years of age. But this is a young man that in 2014 was a bronze medalist in the Paris Grand Slam. 2015 was a silver medalist in Judo. So someone who throughout his career has been a very established athlete and very familiar for stepping on a world-class podium. On the other hand, we've got Daniel Jean, who's 22 years of age. He's a young lad that's coming through and is becoming stronger and stronger each time we see him. He's getting very impressive throw. He's a big thrower, but when I say a big thrower, he can also get thrown big as well. So it's all or nothing with him when it comes down to competing at this level, and makes him very, very exciting, there's no doubt about it. But it also makes him very dangerous as well, not only to his opponent but to himself. Sutemi was an attempt there, lovely movement, but he left again. That little bit of inexperience comes through of leaving himself very exposed in the niwas as the head was up. And it cost him the bronze medal. It's like, here's a big message, take me, I'm all yours.
Well, it's an unusual situation to find the French fighter on the receiving end of that bit of Newaza.
He just sat up and stopped. Whether he thought it was a mate, he'll know it's a very, very silly error that he's made, which will haunt him for a wee while, and ridicule him from his teammates as well.
Yeah, actually that is as poignant as anything else, what Loretta Doyle has just pointed out there. He's going to come in for a serious ribbing from his teammates. There's no hiding place when he comes off this mat.
That was going, oops, take my neck, it's there for the taking. What a shame. But although I was trying to big him up, this is someone that we will see him again and again. He's definitely a class act. He's a talent, he's a young talent. But being young, he makes silly mistakes, and you can't get any sillier than that.
Really nicely executed.
Oh, that was like the icing on the cake for him. He came in, but Sutemi was her attempt to rescue, came over, up onto his knees, then turned his back.
Oh, he was on his way up. He thought it was all over.
I think he thought it was mate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what he was thinking, but definitely wasn't thinking right. What a shame.
Well, that one didn't delay us too long. We're going to move swiftly along to the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category. Yondan Perenli Bashku of Mongolia goes up against Abdullah Abduljalilov of Russia. It'll be Yondan Perenli in the white judogi, Abduljalilov in blue. I think the referee is about to make his or her way out there. I can't see who it is at the moment. I think it's Amano Akiko of Japan.
Next bronze medal contest for men under 66
As you can see here with the statistics, no heads-to-head, 25 to 28. First stand, both of them. Wins, well, there is a little bit of a difference there. 67 wins. Ipon's 50 of them by Abduzalilov. Very strong competitor from Russia, as we always expect, and has been very impressive throughout the day. Came in as one of the third seed within this competition.
In white, representing Mongolia. This year, Baku and Düsseldorf, and last year, Osaka Grand bronze medalist, Judo Grand-Prix
Yondo Perelny, 17th in the world ranking. Baku this year, bronze medal. Asian Pacific Games, also a bronze, and Düsseldorf a bronze medal, and also Nasanka. So he does like a bronze medal, this young man. There's no two ways about it. Will he get this one? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Abduzalilov, 31 in the world ranking. He's 28 years of age, 3 years senior to his opponent. And he's got 5 Grand Prix medals under his belt and 3 Grand Slam medals. Came in with an attempt of a Sodi there. The legs were a little bit in an awkward position there and lost his balance. Now finding himself on the receiving end from the Mongolian in the Niwaza. The Mongolian looks the more dominant within the earlier exchanges of this contest.
Everything was going smoothly for Abduzalilov until the semi-final. It came unstuck against Kim Lim-won of the Republic of Korea.
Yeah, took a bit of a flying lesson on that one, didn't he? That was,
Kim was one of the top 8 seeds. Abduzalilov was the number 4 seed this morning. Just taking a bit of a rest there.
Well, both picking up a Shido apiece.
Yeah, they weren't really that interested in getting involved, were they?
Seem to be reserving a little bit of energy here for the latter stage of this contest. High collar grip there from the Mongolian. Uchigari has got that lapel, double lapel grip as he draws over the back now of the Russian. Although the Russians like to be up close and very personal, there's the Uchigari as he exchanged into a deeper contact. And Mongolian, with that the longer limb, seems to have taken full advantage with that Uchigari there. Infringement of the grippings. Abduzalilov there now receives his second Shido with 1.5 minutes remaining. The Osotogari, away! Goodness me!
Hasn't finished yet.
No, it's still going strong. Yondo Perelny really reacted so well. The Osotogari, he turned, well, he had control at the end, but he didn't really execute that technique, I didn't feel. It was more of a reaction to get out of trouble off the Osota.
He wraps the arm up, doesn't he?
He wraps it up at the last minute when he turned. I don't think it was a Wazari.
He wraps the arm up in an attempt to claim a makikomi.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
But as Loretta's just saying, at what point did he begin that makikomi? You know?
I just don't see it. Well, we'll see another look at it there. You've got the Osotogari. He hooks in very deep, drives on that. Now he's getting out. He's got no hands on his opponent. He just rolls away from him and then going, oh, he's down. I'm going to try and capitalize in the Niwaza.
Well, they're just tidying up the scoreboard. Don't worry, it will be 0. Just hit the wrong button for a moment.
I was just about to say, me and my big mouth.
No. I think you got that exactly right.
Those long legs seem to be giving him so many troubles
there. There is a rule here. Sometimes I wish that we could just hear that rule as the referee is giving the decision instead of the hand signal. The hand signals are universal, but the rule would be given in one language, and it would be given in English because that's the language that we use, except for identification of techniques. Yeah. And what the referee would say is that the Tori in this case, and that was Abdul Jalilov, makes the action.
Yes.
So Yondan Perenli becomes the uke. Uke cannot use the tatami in order to make a score.
That's right.
In a counter. So where there is a counter taking place, uke cannot use the tatami as a
and that's exactly
what he did.
And all he did was to go down into that position. He turned his back without a grip at all. So he had no control of his opponents at all to class it as an execution as he was turning and going down.
So because there was an attack from Abdul Jalilov, Yondan Perenli's action could only be classed as a counter. But because he used the tatami to execute the counter, he landed himself first. Yeah. He cannot use it for scoring purposes. I hope that's explained clearly to everyone at home.
They're going, what?
No score. We're into golden score. Abdul Jalilov has picked up 2 shidos. Yondan Perenli just the 1.
Yondan Perenli, he's very, very strong, and at one stage of this contest, he literally is trying to pick him back off that Niwaza to say, I'm wanting to throw you and throw you big. He seems so powerful, and those long limbs are very, very dangerous for the Russian. There's no doubt about it. And as you can see, it's really tiring the Russian quite considerably. Abdul Jalilov over there has got 2 shidos, and he's got to be very careful. 33 seconds into golden score.
Struggling with a bit of an injury as well. He's slow to his feet for the 2nd time now.
I think it's the injury to his lungs at this particular moment.
That could be the case, yeah.
I think he's really toiling. And if not, the body language is giving us that impression, if anything. Which, when we're talking about body prints, that's a percentage he's given out to his opponent to say, I'm tired, which is only going to give more confidence to his opponent.
You see, it laboured, wasn't it?
It was like...
Took forever.
That was like watching paint dry, wasn't it? He went down so slow, you could feel his pain.
Yondan Perenli picks up the
I do not understand
the passivity penalty.
I suppose he's been defending quite a bit, but Abdul Jalilov has really not done too much to be impressed by it this particular moment. I think
he hasn't been threatening, has he?
No. Yondan Perenli, he really has to be careful as he draws his opponent down to his ground, because all he's doing is just trying to he's trying to steal the match. He's trying to pull his opponent to his face. There's no technical engagement there at all, so it is just false ignorance and strength that's going on in there, and it's more negative as well because it's like stealing. But I think the referee had seen enough, and the Sangaku, there you've got it, the Hansokimaki being awarded to the Russian.
Ran out of steam at the end there, didn't he?
Yeah, just too much. He was overpowered completely by the Mongolian.
Just couldn't keep him off. And despite the fact that he was trying to attack, I mean, the attacks had absolutely zero power left in them. They were not threatening at all. And to a degree, it was working because he even forced another penalty against Yondan Perenli, despite the fact that he was completely spent as far as the energy was concerned. Anyway, in the end, it caught up with him, and it was Yondan Perenli of Mongolia who took the second of the bronze medals in the under 66 kilo category. We've got the final coming up for you next. Kim Lim-won of the Republic of Korea faces Aram Grigorian of Russia. It'll be Kim in the white judogi, Grigorian in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Vyacheslav Peretyeko of Uzbekistan. Here's Loretta.
Thanks, Sheldon. Well, as you can see on the statistics there, not really much to write home about. They're both very evenly matched. I wouldn't want to decide which way this is going to go. It's a real even match. They've both had some very impressive matches throughout the day and both very much deserving to be in this final. There's no doubt about it. But it really is a toss of a coin at this particular moment who I feel has got the edge, because it really is a tough call. Grigorian, when we saw him in the previous match against Jean of France, he threw him with the biggest uchimata we've seen in real life. It was very impressive, so if there was anything to go on, he's a big thrower, he's got nice judo, so the possibility of being able to repeat that again against Kim, well, we've just got to wait and see. Kim defeated in the quarter-final stage Gunbold, who was the #1 seed coming into this competition. Also defeated in the semi-final Abdul Salilov. So possibly come from the harder side, I would say. Well, 3 minutes remaining in this contest, as we would expect. There's nothing sparking right now at this particular moment. Grigorian trying to look the more sharper, taking a more dominant grip, trying to frustrate the life of Kim of Korea.
And he just threw that Sernagi in to get off the grips.
He was frustrated there, so rather than just taking that, wanted to break it and dropped underneath him. Both got a Shido apiece. Also, Kim had found himself on the edge of the contest area, leaving himself very limited in a direction of where he could go without walking onto possibly that uchimata that he saw in the semi-finals, and she knows that is a real threat. Both of them playing pitter-patter there, picking up a Shido piece again, so we're only halfway and both 2 Shidos on the board. Any further errors now, any silly mistakes could cost them the gold medal and the title.
What a pity when both fighters are really good throwers that it reaches the stage of 4 Shidos on the board.
Yes, it is. When you, up until now, it's been very, very impressive. All the matches we've seen, they've been very opened, dynamic, exciting, but there's some nice turnover there from Grigorian. Rotates his opponent into the Osakomi, but I don't think he secured it long enough to be able to get a score on that.
Maybe that will shake Kim up a little bit.
Well, he's been proactive. He's advancing on to Grigorian, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. Green coming in with the Sianagi. Draws him towards him. Didn't really look like he was going to engage in the Niwaza. Just flexing a little bit of muscle there, I think, more than anything else. No Ichigari there from Kim. No upper body control though. Now this is an unusual turnover we've seen a few times, bringing the arm through the belt, getting a little bit of a wrenching action on that belt, squeezing the waistline from maybe a 22 to an 18. It's probably the most uncomfortable turnover I've seen, or actually been on the receiving end. It's horrible, it's so uncomfortable, it's untrue.
He was lucky to come up with that attack.
So lucky.
If he hadn't come up with that attack,
gone over.
He would. Well, he was also going to be called for coming out the contest area.
Yes, yeah.
But he managed to come in with an attack there. Kim's going to have a bit of a headache after that as well.
Yep. But again, no upper body control there from Kim. He really needs to correct that first, and that's one thing he's not managed to get so far throughout this whole contest, is any two hands on his opponent and any control. This pace and the domination of grips has come from Grigorian.
We're underway with the golden score period. Grigorian still looking reasonably fresh as well.
Yes, he does.
I'd expect that of the Koreans, who are usually really well prepared. Not so much some of the Russian fighters who tend to, burn a little bit quicker, but Grigorian looks in good shape.
Well, I think that someone needs to ruffle this up a little bit and change the pace. It's been like in second gear throughout, and both have been quite contented to do and play in that sort of mode of training, and it is like a randori session we're seeing right now, and someone really needs to shake it up a bit. It's got to be a gutsy person that's going to change the pace and be gutsy enough to make that move. Ichigari, an attempt to Sianagi, poorly judged as he came in for that Sianagi. Left himself square facing onto his opponent. Didn't get a rotation that he was looking for. Still looking both very flat-footed out there. A little bit of injection of life into the next gear would be quite interesting to see the reaction of their opponent. Well, Grigorian looks like he feels he's got the upper hand in the grip, and he looks like he's controlling the pace in which this contest is going, and quite happy to stay in that sort of mode. And because he's so happy to stay there, it's cost him with a Shido. Because although Kim really couldn't get engaged with a good strong kumikata, he was making that effort with the Ouchigaris and the Sianagis on several occasions. And although it wasn't making any impact on his opponent, it looked like he was trying to stay engaged and positive, unlike Grigorian.
Yeah, a narrow win there for Kim Lin-Wang. Just doing enough to squeeze past Aram Grigorian. Grigorian, as Loretta was saying, just looked at times as though he was easing down a little bit. He felt that he was in control of the way things were going, and as a result of that, he was off the pace a little bit as far as the rate of attacks were concerned. We're not saying that they were the best quality attacks, but
no, they definitely
that was the difference in the end.
That's definitely right.
Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 52 kilo category. And the medals are being presented by the IGF competition manager, Dr. Lisa Allen. The first of the bronze medals goes to Geffen Primo of Israel. She was already giving her the other bronze medalist a clap, Katerina Guika of Canada. The silver medal goes to Evelyn Schopp of Switzerland. The gold medal goes to Abe Uta, who's changed her hairstyle for the medal presentation. She had those little bunches going on earlier on.
Much more sophisticated.
Or maybe just one bunch in the middle, yeah, sorry. We'll have to keep an eye out and see how she walks off the podium, see whether she's limping again. Certainly slowed up there, didn't she? Just felt something at the end.
I think it might have been her opponent's right foot.
Could have been, yeah.
The damage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Japan.
And now the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIPs and best judoka of this category. Women under 52 kilos. Jin Hui-Yin. Your applauses, ladies and gentlemen, please.
Gonna have a chat with Georgie about that. Your applauses. Right, Primo and Guika were the bronze medal winners. Schopp took the silver. It was Abe who took the gold medal. We've got the last of the weight categories coming up now. It's the under 57 kilo category. The first of the bronze medals, or first of the bronze medal contests, will feature Daria Mezhetskaya of Russia. She's up against, no, beg your pardon. It's Tina Nelson-Levy of Israel to go up against Liu Tongjian of China. Nelson-Levy in the white judogi, Liu in blue. As soon as I started reading out that last one, I realized that was the final. I jumped too forward there. Everardo Garcia of Mexico is the referee in the middle. And with a little bit more poignant and correct information, here's Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. Yes, we have from Israel in the white, Nelson-Levy. As you can see just on our screens right now, looking very, very positive indeed. World rank number 10, 24 years of age, and already under a belt this year. She's got a gold medal in the Tel Aviv and Marrakesh a bronze medal. So she'll be wanting to get her hands firmly on this bronze medal here in Hohhot. She's up against Liu of China, 21 years of age, 21 in the world ranking and 29 years of age, a little more senior to her opponent. But I think all the exposure and experience is coming from Nelson-Levy in this match, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you said about being 21 years old, Liu Tongjian would take that.
Yes, I would have taken that as well.
Happy with that. She speaks the best English on the Chinese team. She normally does all the talking for them. Really nice character.
Well, she's a very impressive young lady throughout the day. Good performance, steady performance. under a belt, a silver medal in The Hague, and Asian 5th place in the Asian Pacific Championships. And people might say, well, 5th place, so it's not a medal, is it? But when you think of Asia and the quality of athletes that they have, that is a very good result. Well, picks up the first Shido of this match. Nelson Levy coming in, she catches that Kosoto, comes over the top, now with the grip, controls the back nicely there, as you can see. Nelson Levy trying to set it up, but leaves herself a little bit vulnerable there to the rear, and Liu tries to capitalise on it. Lucky for Nelson Levy.
Nice change of direction from the Chinese fighter
good
there.
Reaction, good feel of judo.
Tried it again there.
Yeah, well, she's finding it a little bit difficult with the gripping style of Nelson Levy. Really hasn't managed to overcome that at this particular moment. Causing her 1 or 2 frustrations. But in saying that, Nelson Levy has left herself a little bit vulnerable on a couple of occasions throughout this match. Throws that arm once more. Cross grip attempt there. Comes in deep. Kosota. But again comes out once more, leaving herself very vulnerable. Now we've seen that about 3 times, 3 very strong times. And how many more times does she have to tempt fate?
Get the feeling that that's where the score is going to come from, this wrapping up of legs somewhere, you know.
Somewhere along the line it's going to be that stumbling sort of action of an error on either one of their parts. And I think Nelson Levy is leaving herself so vulnerable. Although setting up an execution of that Kosota leaves herself very exposed. Needs to be much more stronger in the approach. Needs to dig in really deep, and if she's going for that Kosota, really has to go for it. It's an all or nothing situation. You go, it's yours for the taking, but she seems to be showing it more than actually physically doing it. Needs to be a little bit more aggressive approach from Nelson Levy that we normally see in competition. She's a little bit flat out here. Normally it's much more oomph in it, as you would say, a little bit sort of much more of a physical match, as we always see from this team. Both picking up a Shido apiece now, 12 seconds remaining. Liu with 2. 1 more would result in the Hansokimaki. Now we're going to golden score. Goes in deep on that belt, but again, she's climbing over it. Needs a little bit more of an aggressive approach from Nielsen Levy. If that's the type of judo that she wants to display, she needs to really go for it.
Just as Nielsen Levy sets up, Lo Tongjen is just able to break the grip up.
Floating around, looking for an opportunity. There's, again, the counter. She's leaving herself so exposed because it's so loose and it's so soft. Nielsen Levy really needs to, if she's going to do that style of gripping and that style of attacking, it has to be a real heavy hit. It has to be so aggressive, and it has to have that sort of shock factor to it, to have her opponent react. And she's not. She's planting it, but the hips in there nice, but she spins over and leaves herself once more exposed. There in the Niwaza, and the Osakomi is on. Controlling of that head. Lu just stays in that position.
Now
It
she's
was
out.
Ari, and that's it. She's out, but the continuation until Mate.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Just 8 seconds she held her for. Another 2 seconds, the score would have gone on the board. So Tima Nielsen Levy lives to fight on.
Yes.
That was
and
close though.
hopefully this will make her sort of approach this match in a very different way. At this moment, it's a very softly approach. Might be wanting to get more aggressive out there and do what she really can do. It's not something. Hips come in, she drives off it, and she's not going to spin over like she did before, but as you can see, the same movements there.
Lo Tongjen looking to try the turnover again.
Yep.
After
it was almost there as well. Well, what we've got to realise, there was 2 very strong attacks there for Nielsen Levy, and we've not really seen anything there from Lu other than a reaction. She has to stay very much engaged in this contest. She has 2 Shidos on the board. A bit of a pep talk there from a coach, trying to really get her going and to stay focused in this contest. A minor slip of concentration could forfeit this match. Drops underneath, but again leaving herself a little bit exposed, especially what we've just seen with the Niwaza. She's very confident, Lu, down in the ground, and she's got the confidence oozing out of her after just what's happened. No. It's the Chinese coach that's been asked to leave the coach's chair.
I find that difficult, given that he speaks French and not Chinese. So how would he be communicating with her? Well, he's communicating in English, because as I said, she speaks very good English. And Mr. Garcia must have recognized, because normally the Chinese coaches don't get turned out, because he fell foul of that rule.
Nielsen Levy coming deep onto the back. Closes the gap. Tries to work with the Koso to again.
Yeah.
Again left herself vulnerable, exposed. We saw it right from the beginning till the end. It was just a matter of time that was going to happen.
As soon as the coach left, it was over.
Yeah. How frustrating. Definitely.
Well, we were talking about the legs, somehow one of these fighters was going to have a leg technique that would topple the other one over. In the end, Lo Tongjen just came up with enough. Maybe, 2 minutes into golden score, I think?
Yeah.
Well, that took plenty out of them, didn't it? Luckily, it's the last fight of the day for them. Unfortunately for Timna Nelson-Levy, she ends up in 5th place. It's a bronze medal for Liu Tongjian. Happy times for China.
Here's the winners. You can see the highlights of this bronze medal contest on the screen. 精彩时刻，请看大屏幕。
Just tries to fight it off, but he's already overbalanced.
Here's the winners. We have 2 more contests, so we kindly ask you please stay with us.
Little tap with the left leg with the coach, and then Iochi on the other side is what really does it. Neither of them are, you know, readily identifiable, but there's just enough there to bring her down.
It was the upper body control
Yeah,
that she had there. She turned on a very defensive arm, very strong left arm there. She wound herself into it, leaving herself off balance, and once again exposed, which she had done throughout this contest.
Here's the little tap with the foot here.
Yeah, the coach.
Yeah. Nope.
Well, it was more the Kosota, wasn't it? And as she
That
did
got
the
her going,
Kosota,
yeah.
made the foot sweep
Yeah.
towards the Kochigari.
Yeah.
So it was that reaction that caused the break of balance.
And then, as you say, the top half of the body just kept her going.
Yes, it was just the upper arm that was very, very strong.
Coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contest in the under 57 kilo category. Jessica Klimke of Canada faces Sierra Leone Sisik of France. It's Klimke in the white judogi, Sisik in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Lubomir Peter of Australia. Here's Loretta.
Well, for me, 2 very impressive young ladies throughout the day and throughout the year. They're very, very strong athletes. Klimke, for me, has been getting stronger every time we see her. She's without her teammate, Deguchi, so this will give her that little bit of a push forward if she takes a medal here up the world ranking list of qualification for the Olympic Games. Already under her belt in Ekaterinburg, she's got a bronze, Paris a silver, Masters a bronze, Osaka she won the gold, and the list goes on. Last year was silver medalist here in Hohhot. But Sisik, a very, very strong, comes from a very impressive lineup of athletes from France. Big throw when she's got the opportunity to. There's a bronze medal Dusseldorf, and in the Junior World Championships was silver medalist and also Junior European champion. So this is a young lady that's coming through the ranks at 20 years of age, only 2 years between them. Klimke just a little bit more exposure on the world circuit with a few impressive medals under her belt. Well, the one thing about this French young lady, she oozes confidence and dominates a match. Very, very impressive. That maturity already there in her judo. That's not only impressive, but very threatening indeed against her opponent. Klimke won't be fazed by that. Loves a little bit of bouncing around. Stays very active and light on her feet. Has the advantage of knowing that she has competed against this French lady and has defeated her already. Can she repeat it? Well, for the positioning that Klimke is in at this particular moment, a bronze medal would go down very, very well for her against her Canadian opponent, teammate, Deguchi. I'm quite sure I'll be watching this match very carefully with great interest.
Half the contest gone, no score as yet. They both remained penalty-free as well. Klimke, as is her usual case, throwing in the low Seoinage efforts. None of them have really threatened Sissik as yet. She hasn't set her up in a position that has been to the Canadians' advantage as yet, but she'll keep plugging away with that.
Well, the one thing Klimke's got to look out for is that Uchimata. Her transition in Niwaza is very strong. It's hot today. She's been very good in the ground, and so she has to take it. She has to be very cautious as she engages down there, if at all. Seoinage once more, looks busy, but again it's not really threatening, but you can see that Uchimata, she works to those rules, and as she stays in the tachiwaza, she can continue play and look for the throw. She transitions down into the ground. Didn't seem to have much on offer there for her, but flexed a little bit of dominance down there as she entered into the ground against a Canadian opponent. Well, both these athletes have fought hard throughout the day, both deserving a bronze medal, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Only one can get it, and it's really who's hungry for it, who's going to be gutsy enough to make that first real effective move. A little bit of change of plan. That surprise moment wouldn't go down as a wrong un. Really needs to do something different. They're becoming so predictable against each other that it's a bit of a stalemate situation right now. Just under the last half a minute, Klimke once more comes in for that Seoinage we see so many times. But she gets a bit more movement there. Sissik rides the Seoinage. It was 2 attacks to one that now Uchimata, Kouchigari. Combination there from the French.
Just remembering to tidy her gi up.
Well, for Sissik, it'll give her an opportunity to get a bit of a breather. A little bit stalemate between these two. Neither one of them have started to shine as yet. Playing a very safe game out there at this particular moment. Seoinage, oh, she's gonna get it! Oh, goodness me, she just lost the upper body control. If she'd maintained those lapels, it would have been all and done over with at that moment, but goodness me, she just lost the control. She was in so deep. Sissik did so well to get off that. Battle of the Kimikata with both these athletes, but Klimke seems to get the full advantage, getting the first grip each time, but there you get an aggressive approach now from Sissik, who stepped it up a little bit. She's been a little bit more demanding out there, as you can see, gripping style, much more aggressive in this golden score. But she picks up, for that aggressiveness, she picks up a Shido. I suppose being aggressive is one thing, but being engaging is another. So she really has to follow it up with an attack rather than just a bit of a pitter-patter with gripping styles. Make it count. Klimke standing her ground, looking for that first grip. She comes in with her sleeves. She's got that sleeve grip. She controls it nicely. Now she only changed the direction. She's so predictable with that Seoinage that if she only switched it to the rear, would she get a better reaction? Sazik is waiting for the Seoinage. She's bracing on it, but somehow you just feel if Klimkate could just switch it from the Seoinage, show it, and then go for either the Kosoto or the Ouchigari Kouchigari and knock her to the rear. Once more, but again she rides it. Sazik
Frustrated
she's
there,
very frustrated, as you could see.
knowing that she'd missed the chance.
And for this, she's got to be careful. She's got to be ever so careful, because frustration can be, while you're being frustrated, you're not thinking right. And she can't let her frustrations take the better of her. But that was a very poor Shido, and as you could hear, her teammates from the distance shouting, calling for that Shido. And I think she was very close to it on that occasion. Well, Sazik got in there with the Seoinage. Why she didn't persevere with that, I'll never know, because she was so in deep and looked so upright and strong with it. Well, as you can see, the body language of Sazik there, she's sitting there taking deep breaths, starting to get very tired. The head goes down. She's in the bent over position. She doesn't know what she's going to do next.
This is the time for Jessica Klimke to
take full advantage of this one now.
Put the foot flat to the board now, step up a gear.
Be much more aggressive with this approach.
3 or 4 attacks, finish it off.
Totally agree with you there, Sheldon. Totally agree. You just want someone to just get really gritty in here and very competitive, wanting to really get in there deep. Oh, so to dig in! Oh, you just want it to happen. Either one of them. Again with the Seoinage. That was the first time Sazik, for me, looked like she was close of getting a score there. She got an opportunity with that Oso Tagari.
That really took it out of her.
Oh, she's
that one attack.
Well, the gum shield comes out just to try and get some air.
Sazik might looking for some air.
She's like digging in, going, oh, goodness me, I need to finish this or it'll finish me, one or the other. She's trying to stay lively. The subconscious is trying to get her body working. And this is where she is dangerous, when she gets lively on her feet. She's very, very sharp, Sazik, and when she gets a little bounce in those feet, she's dangerous. She's got the high collar grip. Oh, but Klimke there comes in once more with that Seoinage and almost rides that.
There's a dangerous passage of play there where Sazik had the dominant grip. She pulled Klimke down, had control, didn't come up with attack. Klimke looked passive for a while, and then she came up with an attack. Can't allow Klimke to be first to the attack.
No, she has to be first in. She's got 2 Shidos now.
Exactly.
She's got to be careful. It's all or nothing. She doesn't start being much more aggressive and forthright in this match, she's going to walk away with the hand sokamaki.
Oh, she's got her this time.
Eventually got her. Eventually got her with the Marotti Seoinage. She had enough tries at it, and eventually it worked out well for her.
Okay, it's easy for people to say, oh, she's only got one thing. That thing just brought her Nippon.
Yes, definitely.
And a bronze medal.
Yeah.
You know, so she's good enough at that one thing to compete at, at the very highest level and to be well placed. I mean, way up there in the top 10 and everything. So it's difficult to stop.
I would like to see more of a combination from
Absolutely.
it.
And something else
There's
as well.
No doubt it is a big weapon, but she really needs to have something that's going to complement it and have either with her feet working with the Kochi, Kosotas to open up for the Seoinage.
Bigger threat on the ground.
coming in for the Cianagi and switching it for the Ouchigari, Osotagaris, using the feet a little bit more. She's becoming very predictable. She's done well up until now, but a better, more experienced athlete.
Trust me, she's been that way since she was a cadet.
Yeah.
That was the, her go-to throw at 52 kilos as a cadet. Smacked everyone over with it, won the cadet world championships with it.
Yes.
And with that, she, said, this is who I am, this is what I do.
Yeah.
But she hasn't been able to add another weapon
and she needs
to
add
the armory.
more to her repertoire. She really does need more.
However, when you can finish off like this and someone as strong and as powerful as Sierra Leone Sissi,
I think for Sierra Leone, she was tired
absolutely
as well.
spent, yeah.
She was spent. She gave a lot at that last bit, but if she'd gone out with that aggressive approach that she did in the last one of the last minutes of that contest, she would have been a serious contender. But she played into the hands of frustration and those Cianagis that she just got upset with it all and was tired.
Yeah.
Very, very tired.
Took her some time, did Jessica Klimke, but in the end, her favourite technique brought her the bronze medal. Well, we've got one more contest to bring you. It's the final of the under 57 kilo category. Daria Mezhetskaya of Russia faces Kim Jin-ah of the People's Republic of Korea. It'll be Mezhetskaya in the white judogi, Kim in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Olivia De Roses of France. Here's Loretta.
Thank you, Sheldon. Right, well, this is definitely going to be a very interesting match. For me, this Russian, she has been strong, isn't she? Very, very strong throughout the day. Defeated some real tough opposition, as you can see, along the way. No pushovers at all. And had some big, big throws under her belt.
Kim Jin-ah has had the tougher time of it, I think. The 4 contests, Neto, Klimke, Primo, she's had a few of them in there.
Yeah, she's dug away.
Lo Tongjen.
Yeah, it's not been an easy journey for her.
Here we go then.
Comes in straight away, Kim with that Ouchigari. Nice start. Definitely means business here. Well, we've already seen 1 gold medal going to the People's Republic of Korea. Will this be the second?
They'll top the medal table if they can do that. Ooh, that was so close. The Ashiwaza there from Mezhetskaya, almost bringing Kim Jin-ah down.
This is where she is clever, isn't it? That Kosoto, she's very, very good. Along with that spin-in Haraigoshi, she's very, very good on that as well.
And the pick-up, the Uranage, she just buries people with that.
I haven't seen that as much today, though. We haven't seen that, but definitely the Harai and the Kosoto, both very, very strong. Big ammunition for her.
Good matchup, this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a
There's the spinning you're talking about. Didn't quite get the finish.
Spin on it.
Sirazudin Magomedov is the Russian coach there, himself a former medal winner on the tour. There's the pick-up. Kosotagaki still in there.
She's still gutsy enough to go for it. Oh, yeah. Well,
neither of them came up with a score in the end. Good little tussle there.
She is gutsy, isn't she?
Yeah.
Though? She really does go for it. There's no fear at all. Kim working with that arm up the back at this moment, still pushing.
I've given that another second or so, just to...
She turned to the shoulder, the front of the shoulder, to get the leverage there, but the Russian was strong enough to defend that. There was a glimmer of a counter coming, but the Russian was too strong.
Kim's picked up a single penalty. Well, this is a chance for both fighters to have a good look at the other, see what they come up with.
Oh! What a spin out!
Look at Magomedov's head just went back. He thought it was all over.
Let's see how she
This is
managed
huge,
to get
isn't it?
off
Look
of
at
that.
this.
The big, oh gosh, she totally lost control of that at the end. Good, wonderful aerial awareness though from the Russian. Oh.
A little bit off balance there, Kim going in. Oh, not this time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And the second gold medal there goes to Kim for the People's Republic of Korea.
Low left-sided Seotoshi.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really get to see Mezhetskaya launch any of her weapons. She threatened a couple of times with a couple of pickups, but it was Kim sort of just bursting out and showing us 2 or 3 different looks and catching her with the third one.
The hip throw was there, the Seotoshi.
Kim Jin-ah takes the gold medal in the under 57 kilo category. I'm sure we're going to have quite a lot to look at as far as the highlights there, because every other second there was something else taking place there. Rim Yunhui, the coach, can walk away from this competition, well, day one anyway, and say, hey, we topped the medal table.
They are
Top the medal table.
Seotoshi. Beautifully done.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the highlights of today's last final contest.
She did it off the sleeve
Yeah.
and the lapel.
Didn't hang on.
Double-sided grip.
Soon as she had that grip, it was off. Well, Mezhetskaya had almost gone over. Well, she had gone over. She just landed on her front the last time. This time on the back.
Oh, so she overstretched there, but my goodness me. That was good. Walked straight onto that.
Actually, they're not going to top the medal table.
South Korea.
The Republic of Korea are going to top the medal table because they also happen to pick up a bronze, so third
medal.
place, and the People's Republic of Korea only picked up a 5th
But
place.
breaking that down, that's for all. Breaking it down for women.
Oh, if it's women, then of course.
Yeah. I think it would just make it fair, wouldn't it? Sort of. Breaking it down.
Right, we come to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 66 kilo category. The medals are being presented by International Judo Federation Sport Director Mr. Armen Bagdasarov. First of the bronze medals goes to Yondan Pereni Bashku of Mongolia. There's also a bronze medal for Tsai Ming-yen of Chinese Taipei. Silver medal goes to Adam Grigoryan of Russia. The gold medal goes to Kim Lim-wan of the Republic of Korea.
Prize money and the flowers will be presented by CEO of Handhome, sponsor of Hohhot Grand-Prix. 请汉德能酒业总经理郭东斌先生为获奖有员颁发奖金及鲜花。
And now the national anthem of the Republic of Korea. got another awarding ceremony to come after this, and the highlights package as well. But just before we do that, Yondon Perenli and Tsai were the bronze medal winners. Gregorian took the silver. It was Kim to take the gold medal. That wraps up the under 66 kilo category. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, and then we'll be back with the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. Stay with us.
Dear spectators, now we're waiting for the last awarding ceremony, which will be for women under 57 kilograms. Thank you very much that you are still with us and waiting for the last awarding. 请观众朋友们留步，并观看最后一个级别颁奖仪式。Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the highlights of today's final block on the screen. 观众朋友们，精彩时刻请看大屏幕。
Right, it looks as though we are ready with the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. Jae Kong Hong is presenting the medals, and the first of the bronze medals goes to Jessica Klimke of Canada. There's also the bronze medal for Liu Tongzhen of China. The silver medal goes to Daria Mezhetskaya of Russia. The gold medal goes to Kim Jin-ah of the People's Republic of Korea. What's your money on the emotion, Loretta?
I think there could be a few tears.
Well, she will have heard her teammates. She will have heard her anthem when it was played earlier on for a teammate. There can't be any greater motivation than that, can there? You hear your anthem already, you think, I want to be part of this. I want some of that myself. And then in the final, she was able to come up with a beautiful finish to throw Daria Mezhetskaya for Ippon. Now, the national anthem of the People's Republic of Korea. Slinke and Liu were the bronze medal winners. Mezhetskaya took the silver. It was Kim to take the gold medal. And with that, 2 gold medals, the second gold medal for the People's Republic of Korea. Well, at the end of day 1, top of the medal table was the Republic of Korea with 2 golds and a bronze. The People's Republic of Korea, 2 golds. There was a gold medal also for Japan. We'll be back with more action tomorrow when we bring you day 2 of competition from the Hohhot Grand Prix. But from Loretta Kusat-Doyle and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.